What's up guys and gals, welcome to another spicy episode of JohnBu Vlogs. Today, we're going to look at Kanye West. Well, that is it for today's video guys, thank you so much for watching. Well, aside from looking at Kanye, we're also going to be looking at Kanye's official merch line for his new album that he just dropped, Jesus is King. Something you may not know about me is that I do a little bit of graphic design. And by a little bit of graphic design, I mean I have a bachelor's degree that says I'm kinda at graphic design. And what we're going to do today is to attempt to improve some of Kanye's interesting design concepts. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not affiliated or connected with Kanye West or any of the designers that are working with him in any way, nor are the designs I'm making going to be available for resale. They are simply for personal use, and it's just a little bit of a fun experiment. So let's jump right in, shall we? So I've seen the merch posted originally on Kanye's website, but I think it's been removed some time ago. Unfortunately, with a quick Google image search, we're able to find most of these original designs. Now at first glance, some of these designs actually look kind of good. Like you start out with this and you're just like, okay. And as you go through, it becomes okay. And by the end, you're just like, okay. So I've picked out a few designs here that we're going to be working with. We're going to walk through the reasons why each of these designs is problematic. We're going to redesign them. And in the end, we're going to mock up all of the new designs to see if they would look good as an actual piece of apparel. So I guess we'll start with this one. Okay, so I guess we'll start with this one. We're going to ignore these two stretched out double Jesuses on the sleeve, and we're going to focus on the centerpiece right here. This is one of those instances where I think that compositionally the piece actually could look good. I like how the type matches up with the cross shape. I don't think the gradient is really working, nor is the actual text, but it's just a matter of tightening up these elements. So I think what I'm going to do is play with a little bit of negative space and have the text actually reach the borders of the cross. So I'm actually going to start with using Gotham Black, which is a nice bold sans serif. We're just going to type Jesus and the vertical is King. So we're going to line these S's up. Awesome. So already that's looking pretty good, but we're going to try to make a cross shape. That'll go with it. Then we're actually going to outline these texts, and what that's gonna help us do is to align all these letters perfectly in center. We're going to finesse these letters into just moving it into the right places, making sure there's no awkward edges and that all of these letters actually reach the edge of the cross. So we're going to end up with something a little bit like this. Now I like the gradient idea, so we're going to add a gradient, and I think we're gonna go for something like this. We're just going to adjust the angle like so, and we're going to group these elements together, and we're going to go to the mask, make mask, click across, click this, click the mask, paste the cross, make it white, boom, we got almost a perfect cross, boom. We've got a actual perfect cross. So I think we're good with this design. I think compositionally we took the same route as the original. We had the cross shape with the type in it. We just chose different elements, and I think this works well together. Hopefully we'll check it out when we mock it later. Okay, so next up is this number right here. Now it sort of looks ridiculous at first glance, but I think if we look at it a different way, we'll see that this design can still be workable. So how I imagine this one is that these holes have been cut through the shirt, and that on the other side we can see a sky with clouds in it, and that this white part is just a continuation of this cloud shape above. I really like this window idea, so we're going to try and push that concept. So I've kind of wanted to use the same kind of circular motif, so I thought maybe that a cathedral window would work for this type of concept. So I'm just going to kind of create this shape and we'll see how it goes. My battery's dying. Oh, welcome back, guys. Sorry, my camera died and I kind of got lazy, so I just slept it off. But I'm here now with my tea and I'm ready to get back into the— It was empty the whole time. Did you fall for it? Okay, now we're getting off track. Stop being such a distraction. God, I'm just kidding. Alright, let's get back into this. So I finished the shape of the cathedral window, which is pretty simple. You just create this shape right here and you duplicate it in an angle all around. And now we got this shape, and now we're going to grab our gigantic sky and we're going to transparency, make mask, make this white, and then transfer it onto our clipping mask. And there you go. It's a nice, simple little design. I think we can probably do something more to it. It doesn't really remind me of anything Kanye West. I wonder what else we can do. Oh, I have got an idea. We're going to make a simpler window. We're going to grab our sky. Gonna do a little bit of this. We're gonna create our mask. Put this here. Okay, now we type this bad boy in. Choose a tasteful font. Got that. And boom! It's perfect. I think it's some of the best work I've ever done. Like, not even kidding. And that's kind of sad, actually. But I guess we're gonna continue getting a move on. So here's the third shirt we will be working with. Now I think the most interesting part of this design is the stylistic choice. These remind me of the Byzantine or early medieval Christian artwork. So we're going to be looking for some art that we can edit into this design. So I think this might be a good image to work with. The Christ Pantocrator, the Hagia Sophia. That's how you say it. Please forgive me, my art history professors. But what I'm going to do is mask this out on Photoshop and see what we can do with it. Alright, so finished working on the image. I thought it would be kind of cool to have the image in black and white, except for the halo, with just a little pop of color. And I thought what would be fun too is if we made it a pocket design. So we're gonna shrink it down, move it to this area, and we're going to just type in the words Jesus is King. Let's use Bodoni. That sounds good. Maybe a condensed type will work better, I think. Maybe? I don't know, man. I'm just experimenting at this point. Let's put that in. Jesus is King. I think that looks pretty cool. Pretty dope, as they say. That's pretty good, actually. I might play with the composition a little bit more, but I'm pretty happy with this. This is not bad. Maybe lower it or something? Maybe do this or that? I don't know, man. I think it's fine, maybe. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. Or maybe just make them all white. Or that, or this, or that. I don't even know, man. I'm just going back to what it was. Actually kind of looks pretty cool, so we're just going to leave it at that for now. And looking at the next one, we've got a design with just text on it. I don't think this one is too bad, but we're going to play around with the composition a little bit. And I think I'm not going to go crazy on this one, but just create something that's familiar and looks nice. And we'll see if we can work with the colors that the design already has. So for this one, I'm gonna try to make a kind of circular composition with all these typographical elements in a nice and tight arrangement. Kind of like one of those hipster-ish marks. I don't really know if there's a word for it, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm actually gonna turn off the camera in case it dies again, but you'll be able to see what's going on my screen. Alright, so I don't think that looks half bad at all. I've definitely seen like a design like this before, but I'd say that's a little bit of a step up from this design. Yeah, I dig it a lot. The real test is when we start mocking these up, that we actually see whether these are good designs or not, but we're almost to the finish line here. And finally, we have this design. I really like this part. I think if you take this part and get rid of everything else, this would be a very successful design. And boom, I think this is the best. Forget the Chick-fil-A one, forget this one, forget all of them. I think this one's the winner, man. I'm sorry, it's just it's just so beautiful. Alright, so all that's left is to mock these up. Before we look at the final products, it would be so awesome if you hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to hit that bell too and let me know in the comments which design, if any, is your favorite so far. Don't worry, I'll wait for you. Are you finished? Splendid. Also, I know when you're lying and where you live, so you better make sure that you're making the right decision. Now let's take a look at those designs, shall we? Well, I think they all look pretty dandy. Wouldn't you agree? If so, give me a thumbs up. Not like a physical thumbs up from your end. I mean, like, that's cool too, but I mean like a thumbs up in the video, the like button. You know what I mean. So leave in the comments below what you think is your favorite. My personal favorite was the Chick-fil-A Closed on Sunday t-shirt. Also not sponsored by Chick-fil-A and still not sponsored by Kanye West. But also in the last second I added a little washed out desaturated filter to it. It was a really subtle change, but I think it adds a lot to the vintage feel and the overall composition of the piece. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and again, make sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons and hit that bell. And let me know in the comments below if you would want to see more of this content, or if you have any suggestions about what you want to see in the next future videos. I am still working on my animations, don't worry, that's still in progress and it will come soon, along with a bunch of other cool stuff, so make sure to stay tuned. Anyways guys, I hope you have a wonderful day and I hope to see you next week. Peace. Just a quick disclaimer, I am not connected or affiliated with Kanye West. Kanye West?